I wanted to show you a few things that might help. So let's do a little bit of scrapey stuff. You don't have to pay attention if you want to just get started on the assignment, that's totally fine. But, so let's say I was looking for the best burger on Craigslist and I was trying to find the HTML CSS selectors. So I'm confronted with this web page, and let's say that I wanted to find all the results of the names of all these results. So like Simpsons Collection, Burger King, this thing, I don't want to look for a burger on Craigslist. What do I want to look for on Craigslist? Game Boy. All right, I want to get on. That's sketchy. All right. Because last year I did burgers on Yelp. And I did something else on Craigslist. I can't remember what it was. So let's say I searched for this. I could use this crazy shell to visit this page. And I'll do that in a second. But let's take a look at this. We can right click and go to inspect if you're in Chrome. And it shows you, so if you click this tab, Elements, look where I am. It's here. This is all the HTML of the page. We start out with the body of the page that contains everything. Let's see. We go down. There's a section. All right, header. I'm not sure what that information is. You'll start seeing it gets more and more specific. Let's see. This item. So apparently we have an unordered list. That's what UL stands for. That is a list of all of these things in the page. UL that selects all the items, a single list item, another list item, another list item, another list item. And this just selects what's inside here. It looks like you have to, every page you have to kind of figure out what's going on. All right, so I guess there's two separate sections. For a list item, there's the top part, and then there's the bottom part. And then within that bottom part, we were interested in not that star, we were interested in the link there, I guess. Yeah, so when I right click that and then to inspect, yeah, it gave me the link. And I'm interested in the text of the link. So this kind of helps you write the expression that so let's see, this is an anchor tag, A, that's what it stands for, is anchor, and that is within a list item. And that list item is within a UL with a class rows. So maybe when I try to write my CS expression, I go to this page and I go, response .css, maybe something I'll look for, I'll say, find me the UL with class ID .rows. And within there, I want you to return all of the list items. And so this is going to give me a list of all these different components separately. And then for each of those, I might want to extract the text inside. Or I could probably just go further with this, and I could say, within each list item, I want you to find me, let's see, I want you to find me, there's one anchor. Yeah, I want you to find me the paragraph with class result info. Within that, let's see, I want you to give me, somewhere inside there is an anchor. Yeah, there's an anchor inside there somewhere, and I want you to give me the text of that anchor, the text that's within that anchor tag. It's possible I could have written a less, so this is very specific, right? It won't give me just any anchor, so like if I just to get rid of this. If I just wrote anchor text, that will give me the text that's within any anchor tag on the entire page. I want to make sure that this anchor is within a paragraph called with a class result info. And I'm not really sure, but maybe there are paragraphs with class result info elsewhere on the page that are not just in this portion of an item. I'm not sure. So I was kind of specific. I said it has to be within an unordered list called rows. And so you kind of have to guess how specific you have to be in order to get the results you want and test things. So we can give that a shot. We can go into the scrapey shell and do that. So let's actually stop first of all. Did it make some sense how I wrote this expression? Do you want me to do another example? Okay, I'll try another example. Let's go to Yelp. This time we'll search for burgers. All right. All right, so let's say I want to get Shaka Shack burgers, Pono Burger, Burger Lounge, and let's say I don't want this. Right? These are like paid ads. I want to see what people actually recommended. So I'm going to automate the document, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to inspect that. Oh boy, this is really, you can see how indented it is. That means that this is really deep in the page, so that might be a little bit fine. But let's see. So this is inside of some sort of span somewhere, but what's that span inside? The span is inside an anchor tag called BizName, or with class BizName. That's what it says there. So it's probably likely that Pono Burger is also going to be inside an anchor class with class BizName. So let's see, this one. Yeah, it's also in an anchor with class BizName. This one is also in an anchor with class BizName. Yeah. Well, let's see. Are only these ones in an anchor with class BizName? Let's find out. Yeah, unfortunately, these ads are also in an anchor with class BizName. So if I were to write a CSS selector that says, I want you to give me, within all anchors of class BizName, I want you to tell me or return their scans and the text inside them, and then extract those. Then unfortunately, I would get Pono Burger from this like paid portion, and not just from the user results starting at 1. So I need to find something that distinguishes these results from these ones here. I need to find something different about their the structure of it. So I'm going to look in here a little bit more closely. So this guy is inside, let's see, search result title, no, not, media story, media avatar. These websites are very complicated, but eventually find something that looks, let's see. I'm just going to go back and forth between these things and see if I notice something different. Wait, regular search result versus I don't see that regular. So regular search result suggests, yeah, here we go. Each of these is a regular search result. Oh, all these are regular search results. So that's probably okay. So each of these is a regular search result. Let's find out what this guy is. Hard to find where. Okay, these are, okay, so here, the things that I want are in a list I called with class regular search result. These ones here are in class JS Loca. So I can look, I need to make sure that I'm a little bit more specific here. I want to add to this that my anchors with class biz name have to be within a list item with class, list item dot regular search result.
And all these is like certain expression, or is that regular spaces? Is that right?
Space in an expression, according to the CSS selectors, means that this, you're looking for something with this inside a tag like this. So this anchor tag has to be within inside a list item, and it is. Here's the list item with class regular search result, and inside that, it doesn't matter how deep it is an anchor with class biz name.
Is there a way to do it or? So say there was like 3 types of businesses, there's regular, irregular, and also.
Yeah, I don't remember, it's in the CSS selectors thing.
Okay,
I think so. If there is a way, it's going to be in your practice thing. You can also search for CSS selectors or see if you can find something about that, but I don't know off the top of my head. Another way you could do it is just with Python, right? You could first select all the selectors with one and then do all those together, etc. But yeah, I think there was a way of incorporating those. There's many ways of getting a CSS selector to give you what you want. There's not just a single unique way. And I just find one that seems to work for a page. And you kind of have to assume that if it works well for this first page of results, so you could write a CS selector then to also, instead of just grabbing all of these things, what you can do is you can have it click on the next button effectively. You can find this link to the next page and Scrapey tells Scrapey it isn't there. And then when it goes to the next page, you can kind of assume that this is going to be organized the same sort of way. Because usually these big search engine pages, all their websites are automatically generated, right? A human obviously did not write this code. It's computer generated, so it's going to follow the same pattern every time. That's true of a lot of websites these days. So yeah, it's good in the sense that when it's computer generated, it's very complicated, but it's very, very regular. And so once you find a pattern, it's probably correct. And again, if you were to go to a completely human generated page, there are going to be a lot simpler HTML, but finding the right pattern that works across multiple pages. They might have changed their style or, so and different difficulties for whether the page is human generated or computer generated. So I'll continue. Again, you can pay attention or not. Let's go into the shell and see if we can pick out this information. So I'm going to go back to these Craigslist results. And so I'm going to go to the Z drive. I suggest you go to the Z drive on your computer because I have issues when I'm working on the desktop. So I think Scrapey start project, and I'll call it Craigslist. I don't know what that problem is, but it looks like it completed successfully. So let's take a look in the Z drive. There is a folder called Craigslist right here, and it has the spiders, no spider in it yet. So in order to start the shell, I think that we want to cd into the Craigslist directory, and then we can say Scrapey shell, and we want to go to this page. Let's see, response, let's make sure I got something. Okay, good. 200 I think means this is good. I don't think I have any error messages that told me that I'm not allowed to. But actually, I think Craigslist I wasn't allowed to anymore. Let's see if Craigslist is working. So maybe I can show you the error that I get sometimes. Yelp. Scrapey shell. looks like for both of these, I can get the data. All right, so let's try some CSS selectors. Now let's work on Yelp. Let's try what we said. I was going to look for inspect. I wanted a span within an anchor of class biz name within a list item regular search result. So response.css, I want list items with class regular search result. I need to put quotes. Let's just return that. Let's save it in a variable. I use variable names like X and Y in the shell. How many of those elements do I expect? If I'm right, there are only 10 list items with that class on a page. Because I don't want this, right? I just want the first 10 results. So one thing I can do to check whether my selector is right or not. Okay, cool. That's probably right. Because this is kind of gibberish, right? But at least I can tell, like at a glance, is it reasonable that my first assumption is correct? That everything I want is within a list item of class regular search result? Okay, so let's go to the second part. I want within that, I want you to find an anchor with class business. I don't want you to find all spans, right? Because there's lots of different kinds of spans. And there's nothing special, there's no class to the span. So I can't specify that I want spans. I need to specify that I want anchors of class business. By the way, these things have this anchor, this class, it has multiple classes. It's of class bizname, it's also class JS analytics click. So when you see it separated by spaces, it has two classes. And so you can select it with either one. I think that bizname is the thing that I wanted to select by, but I can try the other one.
It's like, is that class of only the physical those two classes?
It's kind of like it's inherited from both classes, but classes in HTML and CSS, they don't work the same way. It's not, it just is a way of identifying a group of, so, I'm just going to say a class. It's like a group of anchors that are all supposed to appear the same way on the website. Yeah. Okay, so class biz name, so let's see. Let's get, within that, we want the anchor of class biz name. There should still be just 10 of those, right? Let's see if, oh, one of that. Yep, there's still 10 of them. Good. And within that, there's a span, and I want you to give me the text of that span, and I want you to extract it. I want it to extract first, because there's only one element. Okay, so that I want to get all of them, so I want to extract all. It takes a lot of trial and error, and I really can't teach you much better because all websites are different. You have to figure it out on the fly. And what works for one website might be totally the wrong approach for another. It takes a lot of trial and error, that's kind of all I can say, to get the thing you want. So only with practice, that's really the only way to do it. So I'll do it, let's do the Craigslist one. Or let's say I wanted the link. Let's say I wanted my spider to visit one of these links. So the anchor has an href, this biz Shaka Shack burgers, right? So instead of the spans text, you just want the anchors href. I think that was something that was also shown in the tutorial somewhere. Oh, no, what is it called? I'll have to look. Does anybody know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get this section out of it. No, href is unknown. Pseudo element href is unknown. Maybe it was just .href. Nope. Okay, I have to look at the Scrapey documentation. Scrapey tutorial. href. called HREF. Oh, okay, ATTR is the way of selecting data that's within the tag itself. So before, I was selecting the data that's within the tag. And here, I'm selecting data that's part of the tag. So I'm looking at one of its attributes. Let's see. Anchor biz name, ATTR, HREF. Oops. X. Let's extract those. Okay, and then I have the website addresses. Those are relative links. So there's something that shows you have to take this, and then you have to append it to the base of the address. So what does it show? It shows, okay, it extracts it, and then it uses this URL join function to add basically this part to some sort of prefix that it can automatically determine. It's like yelp.com / that. Yeah. So that's what that's for. And this shows you how you can now yield a request object. And so this is different from yielding data, right? When you yield a request object, it says, Scrapey, don't save this information to a file. I want you to visit this page, and I want you to process it according to the same parse function. So this one here is recursive. Yeah, it looks for the next page. So there's a link that has class next on this page, and it gets that link, it extracts it, it joins that URL, and then tells Scrapey to visit it, and then process that page according to the same thing. So I guess this the structure of this page, and it has a bunch of quotes. So it's going to take that first page, it's going to visit the link, it's going to look at the next page, go to the next link, etc. All right, but I wanted to show you Chrome, great browser to use, right-click, inspect, go to the shell, test your things out, and then try putting it into the Scrapey project. Tomorrow we'll make a Scrapey project that maybe does one of the things we look like today.
Can you do the same thing in Spider? Then you must use it.
No, you have to use a command prompt. As far as I know, I don't think that you can start up the shell inside a Python shell.